Okay, so we've got WordPress running locally with Bitnami, so it's running here. So if I just head on to Go to Application, here it is. So it's as I left it. I just changed the font back from that horrible font. Now I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can design with WordPress. First one I'm going to show you is a plugin called Oxygen. So if you just go T, you'll find it at wpOxygenBuilder. Okay, so this is it, and I recommend you have a look and you see the way that things work with it. And in some ways what it does is it just uses the back end of WordPress and then sits something else completely different on top of it. So it's still using the fact that it's running off a database and posts, and some of the bits of the interface will look similar to WordPress, but then it sits this whole other layer on top of things. And it's really, really powerful. So for instance, 20 degrees. This site, which I built last year, was built with it, which is full of interesting things. And it's sort of is WordPress, but it's sitting on top of the Oxygen is sitting on top of it. Okay, and it was really interesting working with it. So I recommend this. Now, when I spoke to the manufacturers of this and said, "Is there a student license?" They seemed to suggest to me, and I'll dig out the email I'll put it up on Blackboard when I find it. That since I bought it, there was nothing to stop me. Just if I was using it for education, for distributing this and using it as part of our teaching. So because it's an unlimited license that I own, so I own this, but I'm able. They seem to suggest to me that I was able to distribute it for teaching purposes. So in terms of how you use it, let's have a look. So here we are. I've got the Oxygen plugin here, which I will make available. And you just head over to the dashboard and you just go into plugins, add new, upload a plugin, and you can actually just drag it onto the choose button, or you can choose and do it that way, and just install. So it has to be zipped. And just let it install, then just head over to activate. Now, straight away, it's saying to me, choose an installation type. Do I want a pre-made website or do I want a blank website? I would recommend you go for blank. Okay. And once we're here and you just head in here, you see that the layout, everything about it has completely changed. It's no longer looking anything like the site I had before. The header image is gone and everything's there in just a great long list. And the first thing I'm going to do is just go back a page, back to here. And we're going to choose one of these pages. So let's actually choose the home page to start with. And when you put your mouse over it, you notice now it says edit with Oxygen. There's also an Oxygen thing down here. Okay, and you've got all of these extra things, but I'm just going to head over to pages and I'm going to go home, edit with Oxygen. And straight away we've got a blank page, but it says select an element or click add button. So I'm going to click add, and suddenly I've got all of this starting to appear. So let's just say that we want a section, and then we want a heading. So put the heading inside the section. Okay, and you can click the structure and you can see here we've got body, heading. And so this is a completely different way of working with WordPress. It's building a website with WordPress, but code free. And if you just click here, and you just go add, and this time let's just go down to not WordPress, let's head down to design sets, and in design sets you can go into all of these pre-made design sets. So within the atomic, for instance, which looks sort of like this. There is an elements, and you can go to headers, and there are all of these different headers you can start your site with. So for instance, I'm just going to click header with top line, and you can see that we can drag this around. So let's actually just put the header after that, and you can see that we're starting to build a site. So if you just hit save and head back to WP admin, just update, and just head back to see the page in its own right. And here we're starting to build things in a slightly different way. So at this stage, I'm not going to take you through it myself. It's relatively straightforward. I would really recommend that in actual fact you just go to here. So if you just open a new tab and you go to wpOxygenBuilder and just head over to the tutorials, and there's just 3 sets of really good tutorials. So I used these two. I'd never used Oxygen before, well, a year ago, and that's when I built the student site for 20 degrees. And if you just head over to tutorials, you'll see there's a newbie guide 1, newbie guide 2. Bit that I've just done is the installing, but here's this is build a website in 15 minutes, and then this is about designing. And it's really clear and it walks you through. So I really recommend that you just go through these just to get a feel for it. If you decide that in actual fact this is the way you want to build it, then it's a different thing, and you can start, really concentrating and planning out. So once you know the sorts of things that Oxygen can do and the sorts of things that are available, you can dive in and start designing around it. But this is Oxygen, this is a plugin. It's not a theme, it's not a framework. Well, it's sort of a framework, but it's just a plugin. And really, it just replaces the entire WordPress backend with a different way of designing. I found it really quite fluid and easy to work with when I was doing the 20 degrees site. And there's lots of those drop-in modules that you can use. So I really recommend it. I'm certainly going to be using it again in the future. I'll make it available so you can have a look at it, and don't forget, at this stage we're still just finding out, so try it, okay? And then try it on a live site, try it on another installation. In this case I'm doing it on Bitnami, okay? So that's wpOxygenBuilder. Have fun with that, it's really good, and it's £99 otherwise, so make the best of it. Okay, see you soon.